Welcome to Badasses. I'm your host, Kai Armstrong. Today on Badasses, imagine building an empire of iconic images, only to face losing everything you've created. Today, we uncover how Annie Leibovitz battled the brink of financial ruin, revealing the surprising connection between vulnerability and true creative power, a lesson that could redefine how you see your own struggles. They say a picture captures 1,000 stories, but what happens when the storyteller herself becomes the story? On a crisp December morning in 2009, Annie Leibovitz sits surrounded by scattered papers, her life's work teetering on a financial precipice. Her face, etched with exhaustion, defiance burning in her eyes, tells a story far more complex than any photograph she's ever taken. You might know her as the photographer who immortalized cultural icons. But today, you'll discover how a shy girl with a camera transformed vulnerability into her greatest strength. Waterbury, Connecticut, 1949. A military base becomes a canvas of constant motion. Young Annie watches the world shift and change, learning early that nothing stays the same. Her camera becomes more than a tool. It's a bridge to understanding a landscape in perpetual transition. Imagine a child who speaks more through images than words. While other kids played, Annie observed. She saw the stories behind faces, the emotions lurking beneath surfaces. Her camera wasn't just capturing moments, it was translating the unspoken language of human experience. The San Francisco Art Institute would become her crucible. Here, surrounded by photographers like Henry Cartier-Bresson, she learned that a true photograph isn't about technical perfection. It's about revealing truth. Rolling Stone in 1970 wasn't just a magazine, it was a cultural earthquake. Rock and roll was more than music. It was a revolution captured frame by frame. At 23, she became the magazine's chief photographer. But this wasn't just a job. This was her battlefield, where she would fight to show the humanity behind the rock star personas. You can almost feel the electric energy of those years. Chaotic photo shoots, endless tour, a world spinning at the speed of sound. Annie wasn't just documenting. She was translating cultural earthquakes into visual poetry. Then came the photograph that would define a generation. December 8, 1980, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, naked, vulnerable, intertwined. Just hours before his assassination, Annie captured a moment of pure, raw intimacy. This wasn't just a picture. It was a testament to the fragility of human connection. You can see how Annie's ability to create trust transformed ordinary moments into extraordinary narratives. But success has its shadows. The same intensity that made her a brilliant photographer began consuming her personally. Addiction crept in, a silent predator feeding on the same passionate energy that fueled her art. Her world became a high-wire act, capturing the most intimate moments of celebrities' lives while her own life teetered on the edge of chaos. The pressure was relentless. The line between documenting reality and being devoured by it grew increasingly blurred. In 1991, she did something revolutionary. Her photograph of a nude, pregnant Demi Moore for Vanity Fair wasn't just a cover shot. It was a radical reimagining of femininity. Pregnancy wasn't something to hide. It was powerful, beautiful, worthy of celebration. You can see how Annie didn't just take photographs. She challenged societal narratives, one frame at a time. But beneath the glamorous surface, a storm was brewing. Financial recklessness began to match her professional audacity. Each groundbreaking project seemed to push her closer to a precipice she couldn't see. Colleagues whispered concerns. Her spending was as unpredictable as her creative genius. The same fearlessness that made her a legendary photographer was now threatening to dismantle everything she'd built. By 2009, the unraveling was complete. Financial ruin loomed like a dark cloud, threatening to erase decades of groundbreaking work. Imagine standing at the edge of everything you've created, watching it slip through your fingers. But this is where Annie's true story begins. If you're enjoying Badasses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Mental Fortitude Challenge. Explode your confidence by channeling strategies from Roosevelt, Bruce Lee, and more. Now back to the episode. Bankruptcy wasn't just a financial threat, it was a challenge to her entire identity. The woman who had captured the most vulnerable moments of countless celebrities now faced her own moment of raw exposure. You might think this is where the story ends, but for Annie Leibovitz, this was just another frame to reframe. Her response wasn't defeat, it was defiance. She began to fight, not just for her financial stability, but for her artistic legacy. Each legal document, each financial negotiation became another form of creative expression. Here's the paradox that defines Annie's journey. Her greatest strength was her ability to be vulnerable. The same lens that exposed the hidden truths of others now turned inward. She didn't hide from her struggles, she illuminated them. Imagine the courage it takes to transform your lowest moment into your most powerful narrative. That's exactly what Annie did. Her work with Queen Elizabeth II in 2007 became a metaphor for her own journey. Where others saw an untouchable icon, Annie saw a human being. She captured the monarch's complexity, her strength, her vulnerability, just as she was learning to do with herself. You're witnessing more than a photographer's story. This is a masterclass in turning personal crisis into creative fuel. As the years passed, Annie's legacy grew beyond her financial challenges. Museums, galleries, books, her work became a testament to the power of seeing beyond the surface. She wasn't just documenting culture, she was shaping how we understand human connection. Her photographs of celebrities became historical artifacts. Her images of political figures became cultural touchstones. But her most profound work was the story she was living, a narrative of resilience, vulnerability, and transformation. Here's the lesson that Annie Leibovitz's life screams at you. Your vulnerabilities are not your weakness. They are your most powerful creative tool. You stand at the same crossroads Annie faced countless times. Will you hide from your struggles, or will you illuminate them? Will you let your challenges define you, or will you reframe them into your most powerful story? This isn't about taking perfect photographs. This is about seeing the world and yourself with radical honesty. Your challenge: find the story hidden in your most vulnerable moment. Don't just document your life, illuminate it. As we return to that 2009 scene, papers scattered, a half-eaten meal growing cold, we see something different now. This isn't a moment of defeat, it's a moment of transformation. Annie Leibovitz didn't just survive, she redefined survival as an art form. Through her lens, she taught us that life's most powerful images aren't perfectly composed. They're the ones that reveal our most authentic selves, raw, imperfect, and breathtakingly beautiful. Your story is waiting to be framed. What will you choose to illuminate? On the next episode of Badasses, Leibovitz fearlessly captured vulnerability, transforming it into powerful art. But what happens when vulnerability becomes the very essence of artistic expression? Imagine a world where raw emotion, unfiltered and untamed, shapes not just images but entire soundscapes. This week, we continue our exploration of artistic innovation by diving into the story of an Icelandic visionary. She dared to redefine music, embracing her unique identity and challenging the status quo. What if I told you that her journey, marked by both isolation and triumph, holds the key to unlocking your own creative potential? Get ready to discover how one artist's courage to be different resonated across the globe, inspiring millions to embrace their authentic selves. You won't want to miss it. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, the 7-Day Mental Fortitude Challenge. What if 7 days could make you bulletproof? Steal confidence strategies from warriors, rebels, and icons who turned panic into power. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/BA. Thanks for watching.